So I've talked about demons from Lamberto Bava on this channel before. I've talked about it on the website numerous times. I actually did a whole write-up about the demons movies and their official to unofficial sequels that went pretty well. The equivalent of viral when I wrote it about 10 years ago, which unfortunately got lost when my website crashed that time. But if you haven't seen these movies, they're fun, very Italian, but they're very Italian. And in part one, you could say they're trying to be very American, and in part two, it feels like they're almost trying to be British. Maybe that's the soundtracks that play into part of that. I don't know. But if you've never seen these movies, basically they're like zombie movies, but instead of zombies, you're dealing with demons, and it takes a little bit of everything. I feel like that's the best way to describe it. Like they're really good with practical effects. You get to see like the demon transformation scene several times. One time particularly, really each film you get to see like a good transformation scene where the fingernails grow and the teeth fall out and the other teeth come in. It's very werewolfish, but it's demons. But yet these demons attack in hordes and really come across like fast moving zombies at times, even though they are, of course, demons. Uh, Before we get to the good stuff like that, though, we'll talk about in the first movie, it takes place in a theater where a girl at the beginning of the movie is given like a golden ticket, and a lot of people are given like this golden ticket to go see this movie, which is about demons. And these weird characters kind of like all gather here, and weird stuff starts happening. Uh, you know, about the same time it starts happening on the screen, then the movie they're watching starts kind of happening in the theater, and then next thing you know, demons are loose in the theater, and these people are trying to get out, and they're trapped in the theater, and there's like all kinds of gore and blood and goo, and that's probably the highlight of it. I think the best part about these movies is they're just fun in general. Like I said, very Italian. But the first movie has like Billy Idol, has Black Wedding on the soundtrack. It's got Motley Crue on the soundtrack. So they're trying to be American. And from time to time, well, you got all these people that are very distinct sometimes in characters. You got like a pimp, and you got like this blind guy, and then you got like what should be like the final girl, and all those type of people trapped inside. We keep cutting to like this hoodlum group that's on their way in the city, and they end up at the theater, but they're kind of just on their way having a good time at first, and they're sniffing cocaine out of a Coke can and stuff like that. It's very comedic at times, and I guess it was intentional, but that's exactly how it comes across. But it's fun and entertaining nonetheless, and that's what I would say about the first movie. It's just overall a very fun movie. I probably would prefer the first one over the second one if I had to pick, but it's just something about this movie that just stands out, which is probably why it's had 4,000 releases over the years. You had the old Anchor Bay DVD, you had the Image Entertainment DVD, then you had the old Synapse Blu-ray, and now this and a 4K. And of course, Arrow has put out these movies in the UK and whatnot. But the first Demons movie, like I said, it's fun. Kind of ends on a bit of a downbeat in some way. I mean, I guess it depends how you look at it. Kind of ironic, not erotic. That's usually Jess Franco. But these movies, for Demons One, I'd give it probably a 3.5 out of 5, maybe almost 4 on a good day. Almost 4 on a good day. It's just really fun. Like I said, it's fast paced. Don't really waste any time. And if there is one downfall when you get to part two, it's kind of like it's more of the same in some regard. Which of course this one takes place in like a high rise apartment type thing, and pulling a Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which it kind of reminds me of that in some regard. It's got like people that played people in the last movie playing different parts in this movie, which is kind of a cool Easter egg to catch. The pimp from the last movie now has like a bigger role this time as like a fitness guru guy, and it's well done. Also has Asia Argento in a like probably her first role I think she ever had. It's kind of a cruel movie. All these movies are kind of a cruel movie if you think about it, because people that you wouldn't think would die, and that counts from like handicapped people to small people. And the second time around, like again, it doesn't really take long for things to get going. Everybody's at this apartment thing; they're doing their own thing, and there's all watching this horror movie on the TV about demons. And when stuff hits the fan there, it starts to hit the fan in real life. When it first started, I remember like when I first seen this, I was thinking that maybe it was kind of like recapping the first movie, because it makes you think, well, the demon thing happened and then the people just fought it and got rid of it, which you could take it that way. But it seems to be, now that I've watched it again over the years, that it's just kind of just talking about the movie that they're watching on the screen. So it could be taken either way. Nonetheless, though, it's got the same stuff the first movie had, the gore, it has the demon transformations, it's got these very interesting characters. It even cuts away to some hooligans that are on their way, en route to the building, although it kind of ends a little differently for those type of people this time. Uh, it's good. The only downside is it's kind of more of the same from the first one, just a different setting. It's in a big apartment building instead of like a theater. And because of that, I think the first one's probably just a little bit more fun. So I'd probably give the first one the nudge and give this one like a 3. But if I did bump the other one up to a 4, I would bump this one up to 3.5 because I feel like it's just below the original Demons. But as I told you with the unboxing, both of these come together with extras this time around from Synapse Film, 4K transfers. Looks amazing, best I've ever seen it look, and I've had pretty much every version of it that's ever come out, besides the exact 4K version that I don't have yet. But it looks good. It's good movies. It's if you've never seen them, I would watch them. It's definitely got a Return of the Living Dead vibe because the demons kind of come across as zombies in a way at times. Um, just overall good time. So I would recommend these highly if you haven't seen them, and that's Demons 1 and 2 from like I think 85, 86, or 84, 85. Oh, before I do wrap this up, the second movie doesn't really have the Motley Crue and the Billy Idol on the soundtrack. It's got like the Smiths, very very British feel to the second movie. I was going to add that in, but nonetheless, good stuff. Check it out.